Welcome back, our dear viewers, for our special coverage for the inauguration of the GEM, the Grand Egyptian Museum, which will be taking place later tonight. And to shed more light on the issue, are very much delighted to be joined here in the studio by our dear guest, Mr. Ahmed Zeineddin, our tour guide. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us.
It's always my pleasure to be here on Nile TV International. This is actually my first time after a couple of years of disappearing from the channel.
So it's our pleasure, sir, and it's a great and very special day, the day of the inauguration of the Grand Egyptian Museum. Mr. Mohammed, how do you see the GEM influencing Egypt tourism sector, especially with its expected capacity to attract millions of tourists per year?
We are talking about 5.5 million visitors a year, according to the design and the outline of the museum itself. We are talking about 15,000 visitors per day. So if you multiply it in 365, it's going to be about 5.5 million visitors a day. But the more important thing is that if we are talking about the museum, in a definition, the museum, it's not a profitable organization. So the profit is going to come from where? From paving and making the roads, improving the infrastructure around the museum itself, and building a lot of hotels around it. We already started with building or inaugurating Sphinx Airport, International Airport. So we have the pyramids, we have the pyramids of Giza, we have the Sphinx Airport, we have the Grand Egyptian Museum. So the three of them, they are going to serve the transiting visitors who's coming for let's say 12 hours or one day, so they can come to have a quick visit to the Giza Plateau and the GEM, and this would be interesting, and it's going to help to bring a hard currency for Egypt.
Yes, indeed. Sir, the location of the GEM is very unique, as you have just mentioned, because it's very close to the Giza Plateau, the pyramids of Giza, and we have a walkway linking the GEM to the pyramids. How do you see the importance of this?
I can see that the design of the museum itself and the location, it's like two birds in a patch, as we say. So the museum is overseeing the Giza Plateau. You can see when you walk inside the museum, and after you finish the grand staircase of the museum, you will have a panoramic view of the Giza Plateau. You can see the three great pyramids of Giza. So this is going to be serving a lot the museum and the Giza Plateau to help the visitors enjoy their customer experience, as we call it, and also enjoy visiting the pyramids as well after they visit the museum, or even they start with the pyramids and then the GEM.
Sir, the main highlight of the museum from your point of view is what?
Oh my God, this question again and again. So the museum itself, until now, it's displaying about 56,000 items. According to CBS, one of the American channels, so they are mentioning that the visitor is going to spend about 70 days in the museum if he stood in front of each item. 70 days. If he stood in front of each item for about 1 minute. So you are going to spend about 70 days, let's say 2 months and 10 days. So the main attraction in the museum, actually the main idea of building it from the beginning or from the scratches, it was to display all the collection of the Golden King or the young king, King Tutankhamun.
Indeed.
The young man who ruled Egypt when he was 8 or 9 years old until he became 18 or 19 years old, and then he died. But the most important thing about Tutankhamun that when we discovered his tomb, it was totally intact. We are talking about almost 5,500 items, and most of it is made out of gold. And as you mentioned earlier, that the golden mask, the golden coffin, and a lot of other items, but also besides the collection or the museum of Tutankhamun, which has 2 galleries in the Grand Egyptian Museum, we have also the boats of King Khufu's. So we have 2 boats. The one that we discovered in the 50s, and this one we had a great project to move it as intact as one piece from beside the Great Pyramid to be displayed in the Grand Egyptian Museum. And also the second one, which is a Japanese expedition is working on restoring it, this is going to give an extra bonus, which is like the customer or like the guest experience is going to see like an item, an ancient item, while it's being restored. And this is going to happen for the next 4 years. So while they are visiting the great port of Khufu, there is like another port, and this port is under restoration. So they are going to see it by their own eyes. So this actually an experience or a bonus from our museum that no guest, no ordinary guest is going to see it in any other museum around the world. So this is an exceptional experience.
The collection of King Tut.
Yes.
I do believe it is exceeding 5,000 pieces only for the collection of King Tut, some of them displayed for the first time.
Yes.
Can you shed more light about this very special collection for King Tutankhamun, which would be on display only starting tonight?
Yes. Every one of us is looking forward to see all of it for the first time.
Yes, indeed.
We used to display about 1,700 items in the Egyptian Museum in Tahrir Square, about like 500 meters from where we are
yes.
now. So for the first time we are going to display all of it. There is one item for me personally I'm looking forward to see it. The personal shield of King Tut that he is wearing, because this is actually really interesting. I didn't see any shield that it's like, let's say it's something like the bulletproof that we are producing nowadays, but this is something coming from ancient Egypt. So, and this is something actually for the king. For the first time since we discovered the tomb of King Tutankhamun, the tomb itself, we are using it as indicator or as a standard thing to indicate how many items was in any other tomb of any of the kings, because the tomb of King Tut itself, it's actually the smallest tomb located in the Valley of the Kings. So even the king, he ruled for 10 years, and when he died, the tomb itself, it wasn't organized very well, but the items itself for him, which is like the smallest time, like the shortest time, and and also the smallest tomb comparing to Ramesses the Great. Imagine that Ramesses the Great has the biggest tomb in Valley of the Kings. So we are like indicating there was a lot of things because they were in a hurry to finish it. So this is like shedding some light about like the treasures of King Tut.
Yes. Why always King Tut in particular is of great interest to all foreigners, to all the maybe channels or researchers or Egyptologists to study the boy king or the golden king, to know how he died, to know more about his life, why he was always a big mystery for a researcher and for Egyptologists?
Because it's a crazy world. Why it's a crazy world? Because when we discovered him, Howard Carter worked for 7 years, 7 seasons of digging, and everyone was telling him, you are not going to find anything. And King Tutankhamun, it might not exist at all, but he was so persistent until he discovered it. And when he discovered it, then he worked for 10 years to document each item inside the tomb. While he was working, some members of his expedition was losing their lives. So there was like the so famous thing, which is the curse of the pharaohs, that was connected to King Tut. So this gives it already a bigger fame, and everyone, oh, this is the king that there was a curse like for his tomb. So we need to go and see, is there something is going to happen to us? And also the treasures itself, it's one of the best items you can see that it's handmade from the ancient world. So this gives it something. And also when he ruled after his father, King Akhenaten. So there was a time of instability. And then he came and he brought stability back to the country itself. Also during his time we have a lot of famous commanders of the military, such as Hur Imheb, which he became also a king as well later after King Tut.
Yes.
So this commander of the military, he made a lot of military expeditions to just protect the national security of Egypt. And let me tell you something interesting about the kings of Egypt. To be the rightful king of Upper and Lower Egypt, to be the Nisubiti, to be the king of the two lands, you have three main responsibilities. First one, to finish the tomb of your father. Second one, to bring the Ma'at, which we can translate it as the justice, and then to protect the borders of Egypt. And guess what? The borders of Egypt, it's actually the borders of the universe. So the ancient Egyptians, they were believing that anything outside the borders of Egypt, it's outside of what the God created, according to their beliefs. So they didn't care much about expanding their territories. They didn't care much about expanding their knowledge or even their culture or tradition in the outer world outside the borders of Egypt. That's what makes the ancient Egyptian and the kings of ancient Egypt are so special for everyone in the world.
Sir, the gem is maybe the biggest museum in the world dedicated to one single civilization.
Yes.
How do you see the importance of being this unique museum and hosting this unique museum, and how that is important to the whole world, not only for Egypt?
We have been working on building this museum from the idea until tonight, inshallah,
Yes.
for almost a quarter of a century.
Indeed.
Okay, this one thing. And the other thing, that this museum, it's 4 times the Louvre Museum. So this is something makes it like appearing or for everyone that to come. And also the location of the museum itself. We are talking about like a very unique location that it's overseeing the Giza Plateau, which no other museum in all the world it's overseeing such a thing. We have like the Giza Plateau, and among the Giza Plateau, the Great Pyramid, which is only the ancient wonder among the 7 ancient wonders of the ancient world that still exists and is still intact. So that's what makes it so special. And also, besides that, we can give the museum some credit because it has several museums inside it. We have the museum of pots of King Khufu. We have the museum for King Tut. We have the museum for the kids, and we have the 12 galleries. We have the Grand Gallery, we have the Grand Staircase, and also we have something special, which is the augmented reality. So the museum is giving like an exceptional experience for his guests or the visitors to have like an augmented reality of what was happening in ancient Egypt, to go to visit the tomb, for example, the tomb of King Tutankhamun, to see it and like explore it, and some other monuments and some other tombs as well. So it's like enriching like the idea for like the guests of Egypt and making them like feel like, no, we need to stay more, we need to do more, we need to spend more if we are talking about tourism and hard currency.
Yes, of course. Mr. Ahmed Zeineddin, our tour guide, thank you so much, sir, for your precious input. It was a real pleasure.
It was my pleasure, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Our dear viewers, and continuing our special coverage for the inauguration of the Grand Egyptian Museum on Nile TV International. Don't go away, stay tuned.